doing my thing.
What did you expect going into your freshman season?
To be honest with you, my goal was just, work hard, see if I can get on some special teams. I was kind of looked at it like it's a good situation. I kind of do what Jake Hummel did his freshman year. So those were kind of my expectations going into it.
When did you find out you were getting the starting job?
I think it was either right towards the end of camp or right after, or right when it was about to end. Coach Campbell just called me into his office and pretty much said, if we're gonna play a game tomorrow, I think I would throw you out there at Mike. So it wasn't official, but that's when I pretty much knew that I had a really good shot at it.
What did you feel like you did to establish yourself as somebody that can start so early?
Honestly, I just it was pretty hard to learn the defense, obviously coming in not as a mid-year guy or anything. So honestly, I just play hard every play, just run to the ball, all that stuff.
How'd you get up to speed with the playbook so fast?
Studying a lot, staying late, all that, and obviously it was awesome to have Marcel and Willie to help me out there, and Orion and Bobby played a big part too. They were great with helping me out.
How late would you stay?
It depends. I mean, not too late because sleep's just as important, but I mean probably 9:30. So.
How would you describe your bond with Brock?
It's definitely a big friendship with me and him. It kind of started in camp because Coach Campbell picked us the room together. So honestly, I don't know, he's just one of my good friends. So.
Are you guys, you're different personalities, aren't you? Or at least he said so, I think, in a piece they published.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, people honestly probably wouldn't guess us to be friends, but I don't know, it just kind of happens that way sometimes. Because I don't know, Brock's, more, calm, cool, and collected, and sometimes I'm known as the outgoing guy.
Does that go with the position? You've got to take a little more risks than, you've got to be more, I don't know what the word is, but aggressive, crazy?
Honestly, I don't know about for my position, but for being a QB, it's good to be, just kind of lay low sometimes. So.
Did you feel comfortable out there your first snap, or took you a little bit to feel done?
I think I definitely progressed throughout the whole season. Every game, I felt more comfortable. But especially the Iowa game, you can't really think about, oh, am I comfortable or not? You just kind of got to play. So right when the first snap happened, you're just playing football at that point.
What was the Iowa game like with the big moment for your first real start, the first move down?
Crazy. Honestly, a dream come true. That's why I could describe it.
Where do you go from here?
Honestly, I got to get faster, stronger, everything. I mean, this is going to be a big offseason for me because, winters are usually big for players. This is my first winter here, so hopefully I can just elevate my game even more, which, I feel like I can do for sure. So.
How many times have you watched that play against Kansas State where you got the strip sack?
Honestly, when it came up on Twitter, I would watch it, but honestly, I give credit to Willie for that play. I just had my eyes up at that point. So,
how's Brock handling the winter and what's allegedly coming up 24 hours from now? Is he a wuss or is he going to be all right?
Nah, he'll be good. He'll be good for sure.
Did you surprise yourself this season? I know you had said you didn't expect to start, but then when you have the season you did it surprise you?
Yeah, to be honest, probably a little. Yeah, because I wasn't a high recruited guy out of high school, so some of these people who have all these offers coming here, without a high ego and stuff. But honestly, I was just I got to prove myself. They offered me late. This is my only Power 5, so yeah, I would say I surprised myself. But then again, you have that confidence in yourself too, where it's just I always knew I could play at this level, so it's not I wasn't I was astonished,
Sure.
So, but yeah, a little surprising for sure.
That forced you to play with a chip on your shoulder. You said this was your only Power 5 offer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely let that motivate me. And, it's just, like I said, recruiting was hard for me. It wasn't a fun time for me because, I always thought I could, play at this level, and it was just great to, finally have Iowa State call.
When did Iowa State offer you?
In a lot of articles it said they offered me after they saw me live, but I already had the offer at that point. It was before it was like probably a week or so before the Akron game last year. So
what was that moment like when you got that offer? Because you committed to ball state, you're thinking you're in state, you're
Yeah.
action, bound, all that.
Yeah, honestly, it's just a huge relief, you know. And I only needed one, so I was like, all right, I'm good, you know. But yeah, it was awesome.
What was your biggest growth from Iowa to the Alabama Bowl?
I would say just fighting off linemen, you know, just, you know, using your hands better and stuff, and honestly just knowledge of the game, for sure.
How frustrating was that? You'd said that process was difficult, the recruiting process, when you're waiting for Power Fives and they never come. What was that feeling like?
Honestly, it can be rough on like your self-esteem. You know, like, I don't know, it's just hard. You know, you see all these people like, oh, I'm better than this guy. He's getting offered. But honestly, I just used it as a motivator. You know, I just kept going. It wasn't like I was just going to stop now. So used it as a motivator, and you know, it ended up paying off. So.
What was the biggest lesson you think you learned this year?
I'd probably just say working hard and just, you know, you really got to put your all into it. There's no half in, you know, just film, taking care of your body, which, you know, you don't really do a lot in high school, eating well, all the resources you have here, you just got to use them, and, you know, you got to be all in.
You mentioned Willie and Marcel.
Yeah.
How important was it for you to have those two guys alongside you just to learn from them?
Honestly, it was awesome. You know, it stinks Willie's not going to be here with me next year, but me and Marcel also developed a great relationship too. And, you know, they might have gotten frustrated with me asking tons of questions all the time, but, you know, they really helped me out, and I'm really grateful for them.
Where was Joel Lanning in all this? Did you get a relationship with him?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, mostly I just see him around, you know, we just kind of mess with each other. It was none of it was really that football related, but he definitely, you know, reached out to me and, you know, said hi and stuff. So.
What are your goals for your sophomore season?
Honestly, I just want to win a Big 12 championship, and I'm pretty sure that's everyone's goal here. So.
You probably fit in around the office with being a Browns fan.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Cleveland, everything. So, but yeah, me and Skip, we love our brownies. So, yeah.
How would you describe your competitive drive, and where does it come from?
Honestly, ever since I was playing sports as a little kid, I was just known as the guy who, like, if I was playing basketball, I'd be the first one on the floor. And I don't know where it came from. That's always how I played sports. Is how I excelled at them. So.
Is there an example of even as a youth that, you know, kind of embodies the kind of work you put into some unexpected things this past season?
I can't really think of anything right now, but.
How soon after Iowa State offered were you like, okay, it's the perfect fit for me?
Honestly, when I first visited for the first time, which I think was the Kansas game, the one with, like, it was thunderstorm and stuff, so I didn't really get the full, like, game day experience. But I mean, these coaches were awesome, and, you know, I knew it right away.
I think your grandpa played for Notre Dame.
Yes, sir.
What's that been like, him being a good player for them? And then I think I've seen you tweet at him and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I love my grandpa, you know, but he's just really excited with this whole thing. He's on Twitter all the time, checking me out, searching my name. So, but we don't really talk about the football part of it that much. Like, when I come home, he's just happy to see me. You know, he asked me like how it's gone and everything, but we don't really talk about, like, you know, like specific football like stuff. So.
Do you feel any kind of responsibility following Joel Lanning's position?
Honestly, I mean, he obviously was an All-American, you know, but I didn't really feel that way just because I already had so much on my plate. So to put that pressure on myself, I didn't really feel the need to do that. So.
What was your vantage point of the offense, especially when Brock took over at quarterback? Did you notice some sort of changes or the way that they play, the confidence level of the offense?
Honestly, I mean, yeah, there was always a little bit of that because we scored more points. So, but. You know, I just try to focus on the defensive side of the ball, you know, so.
What is it about the way Brock Smith made up his mentality, his mindset, that allowed him basically from the first snap to just take over that side of the ball? Having known him as roommates.
I mean, like I said in the other interview I did, his relationship with Christ just keeps him really calm, cool, and collected, and he just believes it's all in his hands, so he doesn't really worry about much other than that. So.
What was he like after the Oklahoma State game?
Same guy. I mean, we flew back on the plane together, sat next to each other. Same guy that was, who flew with me there. So.
Any good stories about Brock that you can?
No, I can't really think of anything right now.
Did you guys talk about the games a lot, like at your place, or?
Yeah, we talk about football all the time. Sometimes I got to be like, yo, let's stop talking about football, just because I don't know. It's sometimes like when you don't need to be doing football stuff, you just gotta give your mind a break. So.
Once it became clear that you were going to be the starter, did you get a lot of love from home, like texts and calls, people who hyped about it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, probably not as much as you would think, but it was more after I actually played, But yeah, I mean, all that stuff's, you just kind of gotta drone it out though, for sure. So. Was it wild seeing some of the responses on Twitter to a big hit you'd have or a big play and just be like, well, I just made a play, but some people are just. Yeah, it's definitely, you get used to it and as more and more happens, but all that stuff's flattering and all of it was really cool. So, for sure.
Does Brock have kind of a vibe when he's on the field where when he's on the field, anything can happen? I mean, you feel that, or is that overstating what he can do?
Honestly, I just learned to never doubt him, watching him, because, I mean, you saw it, so that's just kind of how I look at it, so. Was there a moment where an older player or a coach told you before your first start, just said, hey, here's what to expect, here's what to deal with, or was that all building and nobody needed to sit down and just sort of? Honestly, not really. Just kind of went out there.
All right, Mike, thanks.